Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode for the Coaching Conversations podcast. Now, we are on Stitcher, we are on iTunes, and multiple different channels. Please check us out. Now, one of the things that you'll get out of our podcast episodes is a lot of content, a lot of strategy. It's not fluff, it's not concept, yet we really want you to engage with the content and let us know your feedback. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If there's topics you'd love to have us address, we would love to share them with you. Let us know your impact and let us know your feedback. Welcome to Reverse Engineered Coaching, Part 2. I think about coaching, and I'm looking at it probably for the first time in years really differently. You know, I was talking to a good friend of mine, a great sales expert, nationwide, Mike Carroll from Intelligent Conversations. And I was telling him of this discovery, and we call them coaching badges. And a badge is where you complete a conversation, okay? And I think about what we do from a linear standpoint. You know, hopefully we train people on a good coaching methodology, we practice that conversation, and then we send them out in the field. And we kind of wonder, are they coaching? And many companies will say things like, well, we really want to know, or we wanted someone to sit there and observe. I think we have to be very careful that we're getting authentic conversations. I'll be candid. I have no problem role-playing in front of a group. I've been doing this 32 years. If someone wants to observe me, not uncomfortable. Yet I will tell you, it does change the dynamic. And I once had someone, could I just sit in and see you coach? I said, sure. And he interjected, and I looked at him, and I kicked him out of the room because it wasn't fair to the person that I was coaching. We weren't there for his benefit. We were there for the person being coached's benefit. And so it is a dynamic shift. So my friend Mike and I were exchanging some messages about this methodology about reverse engineered coaching, detailing what do we want to know. I want to share something with you. I ended up chatting with a friend over the weekend who's in sales. And I said, you know, when you go out and you have things that you want to know about your prospects or your customers, what specifically do you need to know in terms of the information you need to collect? I want to literally read this to you. This is exactly what he said. I wrote it down. We were on a Zoom call. And he said, well, what I try to do when I meet with prospects is let them know that they can trust me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he's going out there with a personal, very linear agenda. I said, no. What's the information you want to know? He said, well, it depends. It doesn't, everybody. I said, wow, this is really interesting. He goes, well, what do you want to know? I said, I want to know, number one, do you have a coaching program? Number two, how are you measuring it? Number three, how often are you practicing? Number four, do you have ratings of your leaders who are coaching? And he looked at me and he said, wow, that's really interesting. You know, I've never thought of it this way, which I was astonished. Now, I've always said sales and coaching parallel each other. They do. They run side by side with each other. I really believe that. But isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So our objective when we're coaching someone for career development, isn't our objective to find out what do you want to do with your career? In terms of a motivation conversation, don't we want to find out what specifically motivates them and what are the milestones they see they need to achieve to do that? If we're coaching someone to handle, let's say, as Mike and I were talking about sales objections, don't we want to know what sales objections you got and what the next steps are and how you handled them and what's your comfort level with those objections and what do you perceive the buyer or the prospect's reaction to your reaction on those objections to be? What I think we have to do is itemize what do we want to know and then prompt people to take time to develop questions to go get that information. Reverse engineered coaching is really reversing things, saying, you know what? Here's the information we need to know. Let's craft some really good coaching questions to get there. What we've been doing is saying, here are some great coaching questions. Go apply them. And we kind of wonder if it's working. Welcome to Reverse Engineered Coaching, Part 2. Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.